quarterbacks that can put in your catch radiuses are very accurate. Now, if they can put it out in front of you where you can pluck it, that means that you continue to go and you continue to run with the football. Things like that. When you see players like, for instance, you see a receiver get injured, injury where you go, oh, man, that's his ACL.
Behind him a little bit.
Just a little bit behind him. Made him slow down. He didn't put it out in front of him. He put it on his hip where he had to kind of turn and twist. That's a problematic quarterback. Jalen Hurts is not that. Not at all. He's a $240 million, fully guaranteed in the first 4-year type guy. You can give him a 7-year deal, whatever. Just you can pay him the type of money that he deserves, which is the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League.
Next man up, he gets the highest.
Yeah, there's nothing to debate. There's nothing to argue about at all.
Well, but the teams are saying, and Jalen Hurts is a little different since he was a second-round pick.
I don't care about that, Max.
No. I'm not going there. Since he was a second-round pick, he's up now.
Oh, yeah.
See what I mean? He doesn't have to threaten anything. He's up now. So you got to pay him. So
you can franchise him.
That's true. But
that would be next year.
That'd be no. Wait a minute.
No. So he's not up. He's eligible.
So you could
for an extension. Right. He's going into his 4th year, which is the time.
They don't have the 5th-year option.
No, which is the time to do it in between the end of his 3rd year and the start of his 4th year.
So everyone's telling these players, don't look at Deshaun Watson. That's an outlier. Blah 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 blah. So when you say 240. Deshaun Watson was 230 fully guaranteed on signing. And everyone's, no, don't look at that. Look at Patrick. Look at Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray, 180, 160, 180,
Remember, I brought that up a while ago.
Yeah, you did. But is Jalen Hurts different since they don't have the 5th-year option? What is the actual market? You say 240, fully guaranteed? How do you do that?
You can give him, similar to what I said about I was supposed to say Deshaun, similar to what I said about Lamar Jackson, is to push it out to give yourself time to catch up to the salary cap that's going to continue to grow.
What do you mean by push it out?
Like 7 years, 6 years, some number other than the 4-year 230 or 235 or whatever that number going to be.
Like what Patrick Mahomes did.
Yeah, you just push it out. The number in the first 4 years, what do you think he is, Max? He's a $50 million quarterback.
Obviously.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's just, for simple math, 4-year, $200 million. So Patrick Mahomes' deal is such that it was a cap-friendly deal for the team. His guaranteed money is either has run out or is about to run out. All they're going to do is that $300 million that's left on that deal, they're going to bring that forward to 2023, 24. And they're going to give him $250 million of that. And then they're going to extend him out another 4 or 5 years or whatever. I don't have his contract in front of me. Another 4 or 5 years, so it becomes another 10-year deal
so
again.
So really what this all comes down to is it's a physical sport. You risk catastrophic injury. But that's why you want the guarantee. But if the guarantee is big enough that you and generations of your family are set,
yes,
then you kick the can down the road so you have a great team around you thinking, if I could play 15 years as a quarterback, which guys can do, someone like Mahomes might come off with $1 billion when all is said and done.
Patrick Mahomes will probably touch, in his NFL career, he'll probably touch $600 million in his NFL career, maybe a little bit more, maybe $700 million of real money if he stays healthy. He'll touch $700 million in real money. He'll probably do contracts north of $1 billion.
But then he'll wind up with the 700.
Yeah, by the time what is this, his 5th year, end of his 5th year, or 6th year? So if it's the end of his 6th year, he's probably got another 10 years easy in him.
And he'll be on great teams all the time because he'll work with the team to give them enough flexibility while he's getting his money to put pieces around him, which is why he was okay with Tyreek Hill leaving, because they came to him and said, look, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to get this piece and this piece and this piece.
How much money is that, Max?
What's that?
I'm just thinking in my head. $50 million, another 10 years. Plus, I was thinking off the field, he'd probably pick up another 10 a year, 60 over the next 10 years.
And by the way,
year.
It's going to be more because the cap keeps going.
No, I know. I'm just giving you
today's dollars.
I'm giving you easy numbers, though. I'm not like, $80 million a year, because that's probably what it'll be.
Well, I mean, if you play 15 years and you average 50. Right?
Well, no, I'm saying, forget what he did. I'm talking about moving forward. He averages
50?
Sorry, Patrick, I'm counting your money for you. $70 million.
Yes, that's right.
$70 million for the next 10 years.
$700 million. Yeah,
700.
right.
That's what I'm. See,
Yeah.
I told you I'm not that smart.
$700
million. Like I said, he's gonna make $700
You gave me
million.
nice round numbers.
I gave you round numbers.
Yeah,
I didn't say 70.659.
But he already took down probably $100 million, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying
And now you got to talk about.
I'm talking about
stuff.
the 10 years that's left in his career that I've given him at an average of $70 million on and off the field.
What's it going to look like for Hurts?
I would probably say he's going to be north of $200 million guaranteed money over the first 4 years.
Are they going to want to toe the line at 230?
I don't see him. I don't see him and his agent trying to compare Deshaun's situation to his situation. I just don't see it because he's not.
He just want to be treated fairly.
Yeah, he's not like that. His family's not like that. He wants to get the most money. He certainly wants to do that. Think about it from day one, Max. I've been telling you, that dude is real.
Yep.
Well, he needs to throw better. Don't just.
No, the only thing I always thought very highly of Jalen Hurts. The only question I'd had about him was he wasn't seeing the middle of the field.
You can't see the middle of a field when you just started playing.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning didn't see the middle of the field. He's seen the other jerseys his rookie year.
But let's not get it twisted. I'm not saying that he wasn't going to see it. I just needed to see him. Like, in other words, because a guy has a lot of stuff doesn't mean he's eventually going to get there.
You could tell.
Why?
Because you could just look at him and tell. It's just something about certain guys. I could look at him and go, first thing I told you about Zach Wilson, Zach Wilson can't play.
Right.
You can look at him and tell.
What is that?
He can't play dead
No,
in the
what is it?
cowboy movie.
I get it,
It's
but
just his ability, the way he leads, how he wears it on his shoulders. It's just something, you know, when you look at certain athletes and he just look right.
Yep.
You could just be like, yeah, he can go.
Marcellus Wiley used to tell me that. Well, I asked him about Parcells because he played on the Cowboys when he was already a shot player, right? And he tells me a story about how he used to tell it on the radio how Parcells came up to him one day. I think Marcellus signed for like 1 year, $5 million, something like that, toward the end of his career. And Parcells told him in practice, "Is that all you got?" And Marcellus said, "Yeah." And Bill just shook his head and walked away. But I asked Marcellus what made Parcells different in his experience in various coaches
could identify immediately, instant evaluator.
He said he would walk out onto the practice field, whatever. He could look at a guy within 30 seconds. He could tell you everything these dudes could do. And Marcel said, I don't know how he did it, but he just watched a guy for a minute and he could tell you everything. So you seem to have that same thing. What is it?
It's just something about certain guys. Like you see him and you're like, oh, he's gonna be all right. Mm-hmm. Or you could look at a guy and be like, dude, he's not.
Is it what the kids call his swag? What is it? Because there are some guys who got that, but that's all they got.
Yeah, but his swag is authentic.
It's authenticity.
It's not something that's manufactured and created. Like that's who he is. You know, his calm demeanor, his no panic, all of that is something that trickles down to the rest of the team.
And then he doesn't have for you any disqualifying characteristics. Like, for example, he's not the tallest dude, but he's just tall enough. He's not skinny like Bryce Young. He's athletic enough to worry about.
Squatting 600 and something pounds,
right,
man.
So he checks all the boxes that are prerequisites for you, and then you see the extra.
He's a 6'1" guy.
Right.
But that's good enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be 6'8". But I don't want him 5'10" either. right? I mean, that's just, you know, and he's athletic. Yeah. And that's the same thing. Justin Fields is a little bit bigger, but Justin Fields has the same stuff that Jalen Hurts has.
He can run.
He's got the same stuff. Jalen Hurts can run.
No question. But I think
Justin Fields might be a little faster.
I think Justin Fields out of Lamar might be the best runner of the football at quarterback in the league, other than Lamar. And actually, I think it's kind of like Jalen, like Justin Fields. But then Jalen also has the experience now, and he's got the team around him. He's got an offensive line. He's got A.J. Brown.
If Chicago parachutes T. Higgins in and drafts well and do those sort of things, maybe he doesn't hit as fast as Jalen Hurts, but you will certainly see a leap.
Like Josh Allen year over year.
Yeah, you'll see a leap for sure because he can play football,
man.
That's what he does.
We did this earlier in the show, but for those who weren't listening, we saw Patrick Mahomes, a $500 million contract, but in fact, the guarantee is like $135 back then, right? But it was team friendly, But you explained to me earlier how actually Mahomes it's also Mahomes friendly, and that's the kind of contract that you think Jalen Hurts is going to wind up signing.
It will be not 135.
No, because that's gone up since then. Yeah,
it'll be a $200 million type situation of real money, and the number will be whatever it is on the back end. And then when they,
what do you mean by that? The number will be whatever it is on the back end.
Because that number could be a total of, call it 7 years, $400 million.
Mm-hmm.
But the last $200 million in the last 4 years, or 3 years of that deal, they've got to figure out what to do with it. His first 4 years probably going to be $200 million.
That's where all the guaranteed money comes in. And then once that's up, when people hear, oh, his guaranteed money is up, now they're either going to cut him or they're going to trade or they're going to give him a new deal. That's because the guaranteed money is up.
So he probably could look at something along, call it $50 million a year, call it $100 million to sign, $25 million or whatever the numbers, however they mathematically work out, where they continue to increase over the second year, third year, fourth year. But in the first 4 years of the deal, he gets $200 million plus of real money, not fully guaranteed like a Deshaun deal, where Deshaun's deal is shorter. They're going to want to stretch his deal out a little bit longer,
and for those who
salary cap purposes.
Right, and we know we have an educated sports audience, but also some casuals listening. So for those who don't know, the reason you do that is you really give them a 4-year guaranteed contract, but you call it 7 years, and what that allows you to do,
amortize the money over time.
Right, you get to say the average annual is actually $28 million, not $40, so that counts less against the salary cap. That's why they do it that way.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.